Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today it's going to be a game from WCS Montreal between Reynor and Time here on Fracture, the latter edition. Bottom right-hand corner, the blue Terran player Time from China and Team Newbie. And in the top left-hand corner, the red Zerg player Reynor from Exceed Esports and Italy, the 16-year-old Phenom. Really love this kid a lot. Time is the youngest player ever to reach Grandmaster from the country of China. He has a lot of fans in China. Hopefully, StarCraft 2 can grow in China, and this kid is going to lead the charge. Okay, so ZVT. I feel like we haven't had a ZVT in a while, at least at the pro level. All right, ZVT fans, I apologize. I know it's the very, very most popular matchup on the channel. A lot of PvT lately. Just a lot of games that are very, very good in PvT from WCS of Valencia. But here we are in Montreal, an incredible tournament. Watched a lot of games. Didn't watch a lot of games just so I wouldn't be spoiled when I cast them. Did not watch this one live. So I'm going to be surprised right along with you in case you didn't see this live on Twitch as well. Thanks again to lotv.spawningtool.com for providing the replay. They've been doing this for as long as I've been casting, which is 3.5 years at this point, which, I don't know, sometimes it feels like a very long time and other times not as much. I don't know, time is weird that way. Not this time, not the Chinese player Time at all. Reaper on the way. Reaper's name is Slenderman, once the creepypasta menace of the internet. Slenderman was reduced to a joke after his film only managed 18% on Rotten Tomatoes. Seeing his traditionally scary days were over, Slenderman wanted to recast himself as a Reaper. However, Slenderman should have specified that he wanted to be a Grim Reaper, as he is now just a man with 2 guns and a jetpack that doesn't even scare workers anymore. Oh, harsh. Harsh words for our Slenderman Reaper here. I mean, it's true. You don't often see Reapers getting drone kills or probe kills or SCV kills at the pro level, but they provide an important function. They're important members of Terran society. They're here to force lings out from Reynor. These could be drones. These would be drones instead. If not for the fact there's a Reaper on the way. Reynor might have overmade lings a little bit here, but maybe not, because he has lost one of them and might lose more. He does. He gets 2 kills there. Good job, Slenderman. That is more than most Reapers do these days. Third hatch on the way from Reynor. Marine production beginning immediately. A quick Widow Mine out of Time. He might have seen that fairly large ling count and said, ugh, that could be ling pressure as soon as speed is done. Good dodge there with the Queen on the KD8 charge. Reaper checking to see, is there a third base? By golly, there is. I was way too late to try and stop that at all. But Widow Mine pretty good against ling pressure, at least if the Zerg player isn't expecting it, right? Zerglings run in here, Widow Mine goes pew and kills 20 of them, and you're like, oh, that hurts. That might be game-ending damage right there for the Zerg player, but good Zergs will probably run 1 ling up. It's hard to tell. Hard to really make a Widow Mine work in base defense this early in the game at this level of StarCraft 2. So no lair, no real gas income right now for Reynor. Looks like he's going to drone his face off for the next little bit and try to get up economically and try to deal with any early pressure completely with speedlings and queens. Anything that Time can throw at him is going to be defended with those particular units. Spore Crawler coming up to deal with drops, and there is going to be drops, right? Yeah, Starport there, Medevac there. Got a factory with a tech lab. So early drop coming with the Widow Mine. This is earlier than the 5.5 minute drop that we generally tend to see in ZVT. Good Overlord. Ah! Overlord sees it, and Time's like, fine. You saw me. I'm not going to get much done with this. Really, this early of a timing relies heavily upon the Zerg player not seeing it coming. But the Zerg player sees it coming. So, I mean, you're going to put some pressure on the third base, but that's a lot of speedlings. That is some queens here, too. Widow Mine burrowing in. Slenderman involved as well. Ooh, forcing a pick up there. No, Slenderman! Slenderman is dead. Picking up into the natural base to try to make something happen. Ooh, Zergling attack here at the front door. Time shuts that sucker down easily, and enough lings are here to deal with the drop. Widow Mine can't even find anything really to fire on except for that one Zergling, and then the Widow Mine gets picked off. A couple drones die, of course, but the Widow Mine is dead there too. Several Marines are gone. 4 Marines are gone. Still 4 here. at the main base. They pick up another drone, and this is a pretty good harassment out of time. Losing a Marine there a bit unnecessarily. Another one going to go down too. Where is your attention? Ah, Time letting those 2 Marines die for no reason whatsoever. Time getting a third base up here, command center inside the wall, and working on Banshees with Cloak and tank production too. So Reynor now really should start teching up. He's got a Baneling Nest, which counts for tech. I'm surprised he hasn't taken a 4th base. Really? A Banshee trying to sneak into the main, but there's a Spore Crawler, there's a Queen. There's not going to be any Overseers, which means Banshees could possibly find little tiny areas to get... There we go. That's a little tiny area in which to get stuff done where there's no detection available. Really, the Spore Crawler should unburrow itself and reburrow it over here, but then you just worry about the Banshee. Oh. Oh my gosh, reburrowed and wasn't close enough. I think that Extractor's gonna die. Yeah, Extractor's gonna die. Oh, transfuses. Maybe I spoke too soon. Might have spoke real too soon. Another transfuse. Finally, Spore Crawler gets up. Banshee sneaks around, comes back around this way. Right? Ah, this is exactly what I thought was happening. Meanwhile, the Terran player Time has snuck up to the third base, trying to get some stuff done here too. At the third base location. Got the tanks down. A Banshee picking off a couple drones here inside the mineral line. No big deal. Tanks firing on that third base. There's 21 drones here. Are there any Banelings on the map whatsoever? Nah, just Lings. Lings and Queens all the long day. Almost got the Banshee, but not quite. Here we go. Zerglings running in. Queens too. I don't know if this is enough from Reynor. More Zerglings popping out just at the right time. And then finally the tank's getting picked off. And Reynor's able to push that away. Banshee with 1 kill is getting some sweet hits off there. Finally the lair is done, which means Overseers are going to make stuff happen. This medevac getting home with 14 HP. Zerglings, not against Hellions, not in the open field. Not like this. Not at all like this. Good Hellion production. Weird build here out of Time. I kind of like it. It's keeping Reynor on his feet, on his toes for sure. Where you go for the Marine, Widowmine early drop, and then into Hellions and tanks and Banshees. And is this a mech play out of Time? It is. Additional factories on the way now. So I think Reynor needs to adjust his build. Ling, Bling, Muta, or just Bling, Muta, Queen is not going to be all that great against mech. Although a couple Hellions getting picked off there, and an SCV maybe if they want it, but no, the Lings don't. They want to pick off the workers at the third base instead. Hellbat, Banshee, Marine attack at the third base. Oh, Nelly! What an attack here from Time. That's a lot of dead drones. Sure, the third base is under attack by Zerglings, which is real bad, but I think the third base might actually go down. The Banshees could probably finish it off if they can focus it down. Oh, 1 Banshee. Yeah, the Hellbat DPS was enough, and I think everyone's going to die here. But man, that Hellbat has 8 kills before it goes down. That's pretty good stuff. Third base is alive for Time. The Lings couldn't quite burn it to the ground entirely, but they did take some HP off of it, killing a lot of SCVs there too. 8 to 18, 55 to 45 total supply, total harvesters rather. Time has a nice lead, and oh, you left the front door open. There's a what? That's not even a hard wall. Okay, more SCVs getting picked off here. Another Hellion almost goes down, but does get saved by the flamethrowers of his brothers. Zerglings just everywhere right now. Really harassing Time, really keeping him from getting up the army that he wants to push across the map and kill this pesky Zerg player. The Zerg player who doesn't have a third base, who does have a fourth base, but is not highly saturated at all. And more Banshee attacks here from Time. Without a Spire, it's really hard to deal with this. As a Zerg player, I guess Queen count helps. We do have 4 Queens on the field. With transfuses, all 3 of them are here inside the main base too, which means transfuses aren't really happening at the fourth base at all. Roach attack. Roach Ravager here from Reynor coming into the third base. This is not a planetary fortress. This is... And the Zerglings getting in the natural base too. It's an orbital command. But the Thor's taking corrosive bile hits. 1 Thor using splash damage, 1 Thor using a single target damage. Doing some good there for sure. 33 damage from Thor's hammer for the ground attack. And Javelin missile launcher versus the 250mm Punisher cannons. Alright, so barrack scouting. At this point, Reynor knows it's 100% mech play. Out of Time. Blue Flame Hellion on the way. That is the Infernal Pre-Igniter upgrade. Always very important. Banshees continue to fly around. You keep making Banshees like this, you might as well get Hyperflight Rotors. But there's a Spore Crawler at the 4th base. Trying to get, there we go, hold it in a position where you can pick off drones and get some hits off on that 4th base too. Queens showing up with their Overseer buddy, and the Banshees are forced to flee. Roaches trying to do stuff here at the natural base. Nope, tank fire. And some Hellions chasing them away. I like how the tires end up on the ground and on the shoulders of Hellbats. It's kind of weird. Sort of a weird look. Thor drop attempt here at the main base, but no, absolutely not. Not allowed. I do enjoy, I was going to say how one Thor is in Javelin and one Thor is in Punisher cannons, but now they're both in Punisher to kill that Overlord, which does supply block Reynor. Swarm Host, going to be the answer from Reynor here. Schwat, schwat, schwat. There we go. It is, what are we looking at right now? Units lost, 21 drones to 19 SCVs, 1 base. So far so good. Pretty even, I'd say, from both of these players. 4,700 resources lost for Time and 5,800 lost from Reynor, which makes sense, considering the Zerg units that have been lost so far are pretty cheap, which is mostly, again, 104 Zerglings and a couple Queens. That's about it, and a Roach. Of course, do not get that. Okay, I was going to say, gee, Time, don't be doing that. You didn't make it this far in WCS just to lose to a Corrosive Bile on your medevac there. Liberator sneaking around. I love how aggressively consistent Time has been in this game. Oop, tank rallying to the absolute wrong possible place that it could rally. Swarm Host throwing down them locusts on this 3rd location. Liberator sets up. Queen's not in a position to really deal with it. Now they are, all 3 of them. Good transfuse, keeping the Queens alive. Yeah, man, he's doing this without a Spire. He doesn't need Corruptor. He doesn't need Mutalisk. He's going to do this thing. Base defense going to be entirely with Queens and entirely with Overseers, and he's just going to respawn to stuff when it shows up. Which is an interesting way to do things against a drop-heavy Terran player, but I guess considering this is mech, it's not necessarily drop-heavy. Banshees chasing the army back. 3 kills and 13 kills on that Banshee. She is a good pilot. 13. Dang. That's impressive for sure. +3 ground attack. Well, mech ground attack here for Time being researched too, and a 4th base going down from the blue Terran player. Ravagers, a Swarm Host, Queen. I like this composition. This is fairly small map. Your creep spread up to your opponent's side of the map is not that hard. It's really not that hard to do. And here come the Locusts. The Hellbats are the big deal. You need to target fire the tanks with the Locusts, and 1 tank goes down, and that's it. Locust getting destroyed for the most part there. Splash damage for the Thor is going to be the answer for sure. And the Roach Ravager army just keeping everybody back so that you can't just march in and take down the Swarm Host. If you have just a mass Swarm Host army, as a Liberator sets up in range of a Spore Crawler in actually both bases and dies. The 4th base in a lot of trouble here. Roach Ravager on it. Good repair. Keeping it alive. Swarm Hosts almost on that cooldown, and there we go. The eggs have popped, immediately going down by Reynor. Amazing timing there. And going to get this tank, and probably this tank too, if Raynor's paying attention. And if he's not, he's going to get them. Yep, there we go. Missile turrets getting picked off here too. I do like the missile turrets going down. Supply depot there too. Pushing now is Time. Coming up with the Hellbats, with the tanks, with the Thors. Corrosive Bile's getting some decent hits on these Hellbats and tanks though. And trying to hold this a little bit. Reynor is pulling back, waiting for the Locust to push and to pop. Time lost a lot of his mech army there to Corrosive Bile and the Ravager hits alike, and he is forced to retreat. That Thor has 9 kills. That Thor has 8 kills. 5 kills on that siege tank. +3 attack is almost done. Reynor going for the counterattack. A bit of a cheeky play here from the young Zerg player. And siege mode tanks shut that down fairly quickly. Swarm Hosts on their own, a little bit risky to send them out here like this. Going to try to get a big old volley off on this planetary fortress. Reaction time for Time needs to be amazing. Reaction time for Time needs to be great, and it's just not enough. Nope. Losing the tanks too is just adding insult to injury there. A couple SCVs getting down, and the 4th base is toast. Corrosive Biles, hard to dodge with mech. Mech is not exactly completely nimble. Mech be nimble, mech be quick. Mech dodge Corrosive Biles or you'll be sick. Does that work? I don't think that works. Ho, ho, ho. Attempted Thor drop again along the north side here, killing creep tumors. There are some Hellions on the south side here. So 5 bases up. Oh, just kidding. This 5th base might be in a lot of trouble. Thor doing 39 damage per shot against this building. Bam, bam, ×2. I have to mention that part. And sniping it just like it's not even there. Really. Blue from Hellions getting into the third base, getting picked off by Roaches and Ravagers, but Thor's going into the main base saying, wait, there's actually no opposition here at all? I guess we kill drones. I guess maybe we would kill some of these Roaches, and if the army shows up, we get out of there. Meanwhile, Locust flying in, trying to get another tank. Friendly fire hurting that tank more than anything else there. That is the problem with tanks, is your friends try to get the stuff off of you and end up hurting you in the process, which I feel like we've all been there before. Whether somebody tried to smack a bee off of you, ended up just hitting you in the back really hard, or you go to the dentist and they try to help you by causing you pain too. Thor, 15 kills, 17 kills, a little bit injured, but that's a free creep queen. Maybe creep tumors too if you could scan in here. I like this from time. These little Thors running around, especially because there's not any corruptors on the field. There's a Spire now, and there's a greater Spire, so Broodlords are going to be the late game play for Reynor. But so far, this little Thor excursion has been amazing. Oh, one Thor down. I jinxed it. Locust coming down into Blue Flame, maybe getting a couple things done there, but not a whole lot. And this base is still gone. I guess Reynor's trying to replace it, the 5th base. There, Roach Ravager, +2/+2. Just trying to get wins, but these +3 tanks on the ground are no joke at all. Reynor's really just stalling until he gets Broodlords at this stage of the game, which are going to be pretty game-endy for time, considering he has, I guess, 4 Vikings. Still making Thors, which are a decent answer to Broodlords. You have to get close enough to hit them, and usually there's enough Roach Ravager Locust that's hard to do. I do like that Reynor's consistently using the Locusts. They don't sit there unused for long. As soon as they pop, he's ready to use them in some kind of a capacity here. Corrosive Biles down Locust. Viking try to pick them off, but again, just keeping the tank count low is the plan right now for these Locusts. Maybe getting the Planetary Fortress, but all the Locusts are starting to expire. Corrosive Biles on the SCVs. I love that play from Reynor. Getting the SCVs is a huge pickup. And 8 SCVs die there fairly quickly. Thor count getting a little bit intimidating right now. Okay, so Greater Spire done. Do you have any Corruptors? No. Reynor used all that time to get a Greater Spire. And then he's not actually making air units with it right now, which is very weird. Very weird indeed. Oh, all right. Just flying right over the... Okay, this Planetary Fortress might die again. Engagement to the south. Roaches and Ravagers just trying to harass here. Going after the Thors for the most part. And the Thors are going to die. Good attack, though. Roach Ravager getting right on top of this 4th base, or 3rd base, rather, entirely. The Thor's a little bit too far away to do anything about it. Oh, the Orbital Command getting repaired and saved at the last second. Blue Flame Hellions at the 5th base of Reynor trying to kill drones, but there are not many there. Ah! Amazing, amazing hit there. Flying up to the main base with his Blue Flame Hellions. Could be Hellbats. Liberator still trying to do stuff, still planting themselves in bad locations, though. If you're going to send Liberators up, send them into locations where Spore Crawlers do not exist. Like this one, for example. Better. Force Reynor to respond to them, rather than allowing Static Defense to deal with them for you. This Planetary Fortress wasn't healed up. Okay, well, it's gone. And the Locusts finishing off what's left there. 9 SCVs picked off. Total of 60 drones and 51 SCVs have been killed in this game thus far. 49 to 55 Harvesters at an 18-minute mark is really low, especially considering how many bases these players control. Okay, so Time has lost his 4th base a couple times now. Really bad. Oh, the Burrow Roach sneakeration here from Reynor is just disgusting. +3/+3 Roaches just wandering around doing whatever they want. A lot of Ravagers getting picked off here. A Barracks flying around. Is that the same Barracks from the first of the game? I bet it is. I really bet it is here. 194 to 136 supply. Reynor enjoys it. A nice lead. Really wants to kill this base, but the repair is going to be too good. I mean, it's hurting, but it's just too good. Locusts. There's not a base here for me to kill, they say. So, Whittles kill Sensor Tower, SCVs, whatever we can find, no big deal. Time says, all right, we got to do this thing. Moving out across the map. The Ravager Corrosive Bile is just so hard for Thors to dodge. That was an amazing dodge, though, for Time, actually. That was pretty impressive. That one not as good, but still, the Ravagers can't really engage here. just because the upgrades are so good on the Thors. That said, the Ravagers are 3-3, and the tanks are not in siege mode, so he's just being extremely patient. APM check, 475 for Reynor, 405 for time at this stage of the game, which is just disgusting at the 20-minute mark. More corrosive vials going down. Still, no corruptors, no air units at all. Reynor thought about going for Broodlord. He wanted the ability to go for Broodlord, but instead, nope, we're just going to go for Locusts. Oh, so many Locusts. And that Thor army's destroyed, and that is your GG. GG from Time. Time is defeated. Reynor is your winner in 20 minutes and 15 seconds. Woo! Slugfest. Slugfest of his EVT for sure. Reynor just kept consistent pressure up on Time for what felt like the last 10 minutes of the game. Fourth base died several times. Third base was under fire a lot too. 67 SCVs picked off. Resources lost. Really telling the story as usual. 22,000 resources lost for Reynor compared to 34 from Time. That's 10 Thors, 47 Hellbats, 28 tanks. I had no idea it was that many. 2 planetary fortresses and a command center. Compared to 104 Lings, yeah. 31 Ravagers, yeah. But only 1 Swarm Host died. 72 Roaches died, which is a lot in 2 bases. So that explains your discrepancy for sure. So Reynor lost a couple bases, but took more than he lost and just kept the pressure up on Time, and Time couldn't make it happen. Great showing by him, though. I expect to see more from Time in the future. In the very, very near future from him. He has a bright future ahead of him. I'm going to say future a lot. That's because it's 12:30 in the morning. But that's okay. Whew. All right. Well, that is going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me at Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.